Two federal law enforcement sources tell CBS News it was Tyler Robinson's father who saw the photo released by authorities and confronted his son. Tyler apparently admitted to being the person in the photos, and Tyler's father told him that he should turn himself in. But authorities tell us Tyler told him he would rather take his own life. At that point, Tyler's father called a youth pastor who knows Tyler and is close to the family. The pastor and Tyler's father tried to calm him down, but the pastor also serves as a court security officer. He called the U.S. Marshal's office and other law enforcement agencies. The Marshals detained Tyler and kept him secure until he was taken into custody. I'm Carter Evans in Orem, Utah. Now with more CBS News, here's Christopher Cruz.
CBS News national security contributor Samantha Vinograd tells us what's next for the investigation.
Law enforcement professionals will be combing through this individual's history, including his social media, his communications with friends and family, and his movements. The immediate priority is to ensure that there is no ongoing threat to the public.
To honor Charlie Kirk, there have been vigils and condemnations of gun violence across the country. Pastor Kevin McCall in Brooklyn.
Charlie Kirk could have been me.
An ICE agent has shot and killed a man he was trying to arrest in Franklin Park, Illinois, getting seriously injured in the process. CBS's Erica Brown has that.
Officials say authorities working in a Chicago suburb shot and killed a suspect they say tried to ram his vehicle into the arrest team, dragging an officer with a car. The officer involved is in stable condition.
He's not saying when they'll arrive, but President Trump says he's going to deploy units of the National Guard to Memphis. Tennessee Republican Governor Bill Lee supports the plan. Mayor Paul Young does not.
The eyes of the world are on Memphis. I want the world to know that Memphis stands together.
At a news conference today, Young acknowledged Memphis remains high on too many, quote, bad lists. A survey by a German pilots union has produced some startling results that CBS's Cooper Lawrence says gives new meaning to the term autopilot.
Of the more than 900 pilots surveyed, 93% admitted to napping during flights. 12% said they nap every time they fly. 33% said they doze off occasionally. The union noted that the survey may not be statistically representative of all pilots, but it does show a trend of overwork and fatigue issues that they call a worrying reality in the industry.
At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was down more than 1.5%. 1%. NASDAQ closed down about 0.5% as well. This is CBS.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, a key member of the U.S. House in Bellevue slamming cuts to health care. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, this report brought to us by Washington 811. Up in Everett, we've got a new collision. It's North 5 just past Highway 2. Looks like it's blocking your let's go 3 left lanes. That includes the HOV lane. So you're kind of getting by in the far right lane, which is actually an on-ramp right now. You're backed up all the way to the Boeing Freeway, Everett to Marysville, pushing a half hour. This has eastbound 526 jamming up at Evergreen Way. Linwood to Seattle has improved a half hour, down from 50 minutes at our last report. You're bumper to bumper now from 85th in the downtown. North 5, you're slow from the north end of Boeing Field through downtown. South 405 packed at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you'll start to thin out. Bellevue to Renton's a 35-minute commute. Northbound 405 is heavy through the Renton S-curves, and Tacoma to Olympia continues a climb. We're up to an hour and 25 minutes. You've got big backups to JBLM and again between Lacey and Olympia. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. The U.S. House Minority Leader made a visit to Bellevue today to push back against cuts to Medicaid and other health-related programs. Representative Hakeem Jeffries was at Overlake Medical Center.
Republicans have had repeated opportunities to block the Medicaid cuts and to make sure that the Enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits are continued. And they failed to stand up for the health care of the American people.
And Democrats say they are ready to risk a government shutdown at the end of this month if Republicans do not meet their demands on health care. Republicans say they want to root out waste and fraud in Medicaid. Bellevue police are asking the public to be on the lookout for a murder suspect. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
Police say 28-year-old Samuel Hitchcock has been on the run since July 30th. Police believe on that day, Hitchcock was involved in the death of a 54-year-old man in the Eastgate neighborhood. Tips have come in, but so far, police have not been able to find him. Here's Bellevue PD's Drew Anderson.
When you see someone who matches this description of Samuel Hitchcock, we don't ask you to confront him. We just ask you to call it in.
Hitchcock is 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighs about 125 pounds, and has dark hair. You can see his picture on mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Well, the Seattle Mariners want to hear from fans about those street preachers who shout into megaphones outside T-Mobile Park. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake explains.
As fans file in the home plate entrance, it sounds like this. As for the speech itself, the First Amendment covers that.
But we also do have laws against magnified voice broadcasting.
That's Seattle City Council President Sarah Nelson. The Mariners front office wants to know what you think. Signs posted outside T-Mobile Park ask fans to scan a QR code and leave a comment about what the sign calls the amplified noise outside the ballpark. Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's culinary scene just scored a big win. Bon Appetit has named Lennox one of the best new restaurants in the U.S. The Afro-Latin Bistro started as a meal delivery service during the pandemic before it evolved into a pop-up and then a full-fledged restaurant in Belltown. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Some increasing sun breaks this afternoon. We'll see warmer weather tomorrow, mid-70s, and then slightly cooler on Sunday, along with some showers. Right now, 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I was cleaning up my office the other day, and I came across some old pencils that I hadn't sharpened in a while. So I thought I'd sharpen them. It takes about 30 seconds to get a good point on a pencil. Oh, is that worth it?
Oh, me doing Andy Rooney? Wow. Yes. Nice. Jeez. By the way, never know what Andrew's going to play there to start the show off. I send him stuff, but he seems to ignore my things. I send you stuff like throughout the entire week. I send, even at night on a Saturday, I send you something.
That's why we ignore you. To teach you a lesson.
Yeah, well, for the rest of you that want to ignore, too late. The show's starting now. Diving in It is a Friday. We're going to do, let's see, are we going to know-it-all quiz?
Yes.
We're going to go behind enemy lines? Yeah. Look at some sucker in Pittsburgh. Rye's going to do that with us. Yeah, got a good show. Hey, everybody, you've stumbled upon the John Curley Show here on KIRO Radio. Sure. Yeah, we're still doing radio. What are you laughing at, Aaron? Huh? Huh? Eh? What's so funny?
Huh? You know, what is it, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Come on, guys.
Sign your paychecks around here?
Huh? Share with the class?
It ain't the YouTube. There it is right over there, YouTube people over there. Okay, let's get started. Let's see, I was thinking, I think you'll like this. We're going to go back to the 20th century, then we're going to go to 1957, then we're going to go all the way up. Talk about how fear and hate are two of the biggest things we need to overcome in order to better understand one another. And a man that has an entire collection of KKK robes in his basement. Plus, a guy that yelled out the name of a famous sneaker and then died. I'm all full of teases today, huh? Hey, gassy old lady, what do you think of some of these teases? You like these teases?
Oh, that's a tease.
You like that there, you old gassy lady. Plus, also, this is terrible. One of my compatriots here at KIRO is, not at KIRO, at the other station is doing this. I don't like this.
Bonneville.
No, not Bonneville. It's
yeah,
France,
we all
door.
work for Bonneville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It's the company that signs your paycheck.
Plus, also grade inflation. We'll talk to a man that if you want your kid to do well in the SATs, don't hire this guy. But you want your kid to actually do better than any other kid could possibly do in an SAT test. We'll talk to the man who everyone calls, and he has a very interesting perspective of what's happening in colleges. All that, plus Behind Enemy Lines, I mentioned that. I'm going to try to sneak in, I think it's Pemeni Brothers or something. It's a place in Pittsburgh where they radically put French fries and coleslaw on your sandwich.
Ugh.
Okay, all right. Really?
I don't like French fries in my burritos, and I don't like them in my sandwiches.
We're going to do these little fun stories. This has been a tough week for everybody. For everybody that follows the news. So I found these things at 5:30 in the morning, and I sent them over to Joe. The blind pigeon, that's in there, and the cat that both made it in there. Plus, update on they've caught the shooter, as you probably know at this point, of Charlie Kirk. A little kind of new information coming out on that. Well, the governor said, the president's response to this, plus Bernie's call to end political violence. Bernie Sanders?
Yes.
Good. Okay. And now, I was thinking. Fear and hatred are taught and learned. A good experiment occurred back in the 20th century. And what they decided to do was this doctor wanted to find out, can you teach infants to fear? And he took a 9-month-old child known as Little Albert, and he put Little Albert on a little mat there and then had a rat come over, had a monkey come by, and Little Albert was, completely mesmerized by the movement of these little furry animals. And he would put a monkey over there, and then he had a rat go over and play, and a dog, and a whole bunch of other things. And the little Albert had a inquisitive, curious response to each one of these furry little animals. Would reach out and touch it, grab the fur, and respond in a joyful way. They then gave little Albert a break, and then they brought the same animals back out again. This time, every time the animal appeared in front of the infant, they took 2 pieces of metal and banged them together as loud as they possibly could to shock the child. And then they would bring another animal in and bang the 2 things together to shock the child. Eventually, the 9-month-old associated the presence of the animal with the loud, startling sound. And then when they would put the animals in front of the child, it crawled away in fear because the sound frightened, the animal didn't, but they associated the 2 together. It's known as the Little Albert experiment. Later on, it was critiqued, saying, well, later reviews say that the child wasn't permanently affected and did not later on have fear of rats and dogs and things like that. But originally, the experiment was hailed as a success in showing that you can create a stimuli to create a fear response that can then be translated into the presence of something that would be causing fear. A guy by the name of Daryl Davis, a black man who was 10 years old at the time, joined the Cub Scouts in Massachusetts. And this was back in 1960-something. And he was the only black to be marching with the whites there in Massachusetts. And as they were heading down the street, somebody threw a rock at him. And then someone threw a bottle at him. Quickly, the Cub master, the guy in charge, the adult, formed a protective circle around Daryl Davis, and they quickly got off of the parade route. Davis went home to his father. Davis is 10 years old at the time, and said, why do they hate me? They don't even know me. And the father explained racism to this young man there in Massachusetts. But the question stayed with him until 1983. He always wanted to know, why would somebody hate me? They don't even know me. Joe Davis was a really good, and still is, musician. And he was playing at a bar in Maryland. And it was 1983. There were some white folks in the bar. Some of them were actually members of the KKK. And one of them came up to Daryl Davis and says, "Hey, you play pretty good. You play, you play like Jerry Lee Lewis."
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Goodness, your records just quitting balls of fire.
Davis explained to the man that, well, actually, Jerry Lee Lewis got a lot of that style and a lot of the chord progressions and the rhythm from black musicians. The man in the small bar where Daryl Davis had just played was somewhat curious, but at the same time apprehensive to believe, but he went along with it. Daryl and the man shared a beer, and then the man admitted that, I'm a member of the KKK here in Maryland. This was Daryl Davis's chance to ask someone, why do you hate me? You don't even know me. The question that had haunted him since the time he was 10 years old, marching there in Massachusetts. The man said, well, I could put you in touch with somebody. You might want to talk to Roger Davis. He heads the KKK here in Maryland. And he handed Daryl Davis a business card. Davis took it, put it in his wallet, and took only about 2 days to decide, I'm going to call Roger Davis, the head of the KKK, and meet him. He had his assistant, a female, call Roger Davis for fear that Davis might hang up on him right away if he detected there was a dialect that could be considered to be black. So he had his assistant, his secretary, call, and Roger Davis, Roger Kelly, and Daryl Davis decided to meet. And they would meet at a Park Motel, the Park Motel. Not exactly the nicest of hotels, probably something somebody would rent for the hour or so. And there was Roger Kelly and Daryl Davis in this small hotel room. It was dark. Kelly had come with a bodyguard that had a gun on his side. Daryl sat in a chair across from Roger Kelly, who was the head of the KKK. They were exchanging pleasantries. Daryl explained to Kelly that he was writing a book and wanted to talk to him. The interview was slow at first. Both were sort of trying to feel each other out. Whenever there was any silence between the questions and the answers, Daryl Davis says you could feel the tension. And then suddenly, a cooler placed off to the side that Daryl Davis had instructed his assistant to get and put Coca-Colas in there and some ice in there. There was suddenly a sound. Bang. Within an instant, both men, one black, one white, their eyes met, and fear was in their eyes. Neither one of them knew where the sound came from. Both terrified that their life might end with the next sound. But they were locked into each other's eyes. They didn't know where the sound came from, and fear took them over. Well, it turns out the sound was nothing more than the ice had melted, and the Cokes that were on top in the ice chest had fallen down to the bottom. Daryl Davis learned a very important lesson right at that point.
Hate stems, I believe, from fear of the unknown, and I think this is all across the board, regardless of whether it's a Klansman or anything else.
But he has no illusions about the Klan. If he did, his friend would be quick to disabuse them.
And I believe in separation of the races. I believe that's in the best interest of all races.
Does he really? Or has friendship transcended the color barrier? Listen to Kelly at a Klan rally.
I will follow right man to hell and back, because I believe in what he stands for and he believes in what I stand for. A lot of times we don't agree with everything, but at least he respects me to sit down and listen to me. And I'll respect him to sit down and listen to him.
Kelly and Davis would go on to become friends, and Kelly would invite Davis to be the godfather of his child. Because in that room, in that Park Hotel, when both men feared each other, they didn't know what had caused the fear. They didn't understand where the sound had come from, but they knew both were completely vulnerable to what would happen next. And then once they learned, it was nothing more than the ice melting and the Cokes dropping to the bottom of the ice container, the fear went away. Because, as Daryl Davis learned as well, that fear breeds hate, and hate breeds destruction.
This was a teaching moment. The lesson taught is ignorance breeds fear. We fear those things we don't understand. If you do not keep that fear in check, that fear in turn will breed hatred. If you do not keep that hatred in check, that hatred in turn will breed destruction. We want to destroy those things that we hate.
Got it? Daryl Davis went on to actually help to talk 40 to 60 men out of the KKK, and each one would leave. They would give him his robes. They say, Daryl Davis and others, that he's responsible for getting up to 200 men to leave the Ku Klux Klan there in Maryland. They reformed again in 2017. A shot was fired out in hatred against another man, and a KKK member was taken and put into jail, and it was Daryl Davis that paid his bail to get him out. Davis finally understood why somebody hated him. They didn't even know him because they feared him. So today, as we saw fear and hatred displayed there in Utah when a shot rang out and killed Charlie Kirk, someone taught that kid, who's 23 years old, to hate him, to fear him. Where did the fear come from? Who told that young man that had that rifle on that building that he should fear Charlie Kirk, that he should fear the words of one man? Somewhere it's coming from. Just like the slamming of two metal bars together to cause a little kid, a little baby, 9-month-old, to fear a small dog that just seconds ago he was having no trouble with. There is something in our society that is banging those two pieces of metal together that take away our ability to know one another, not fear one another, not hate one another, not want to kill one another. All right, Nathan, checking traffic for us on this Friday. Nathan.
All right, Global Credit Union has the update. Everett, we just cleared moments ago that collision North 5 just past Highway 2, so you're still backed up bumper to the Boeing Freeway. Everett to Marysville is going to take you a half hour. In Linwood, northbound 99 and Manor Way, got a crash blocking all northbound lanes. This is just north of the Mukilteo Speedway. Linwood to Seattle, back up to 40 minutes, and you're packed from Northgate into downtown. South 405, really heavy from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. Northbound 405 is now packed through the Renton S-curves. Renton to Bellevue, 20 minutes. And in Renton, southbound 167 or 180th, your right lane is blocked by fire crews who got a big old brush fire. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour and 20-minute commute this afternoon. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you're feeling that the house is disorganized, you want to get organized, take it from me. Closets by Design should be in the marriage counseling business because I'm a mess. I know it. I'm a slob. My wife is the absolute antithesis. Everything has its place. It's completely organized. She arranges all the T-shirts by color and design and everything. I'm a mess. So when she told me we've got to get the barn organized, I said, okay, let's do it. So I said, a couple things I want. I want to get a local company. They've been around for a while. Great. She finds Closets by Design. And I said, they've been around for 22 years, family run, local. This is great. Let's get them in here. So a great person from Closets by Design comes and they sit down from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock, they completely come up with a customized design for us, taking care of the master bedroom and the other room in the closet as well, and downstairs in the garage. And now there's peace and there's organization. Closets by Design, absolutely the best. And right now, I don't know how you pass this offer up. Big savings, 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. I'm talking about Closets by Design. Give them a call for a free consultation today. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
The Seahawks hit the road for the first time this season in hostile Pittsburgh. Seahawks, Steelers, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-266-3845. Again, that's 800-266-3845. 800-266-3845.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. When a spouse says, thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before. That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
Hey, it's Brock Heward here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. A 22-year-old man is locked up inside a Utah jail accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Utah Governor Spencer Cox says the suspect, Tyler Robinson, was found some 250 miles away from the crime scene.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
CBS's Carter Evans reports authorities believe Robinson acted alone.
Authorities have a tremendous amount of evidence linking him to this crime. Of course, they have the gun. They have all of this video evidence. I would presume at this point they've probably got fingerprints and DNA.
And prosecutors plan to formally charge Robinson on Tuesday. The Department of Homeland Security says a federal agent was injured during a deadly confrontation with an immigrant near Chicago. Reporter Suzanne Lemignot has more from DHS.
During a vehicle stop, they say the suspect resisted and attempted to drive his vehicle into the arresting team, hitting an officer, then dragging him as he fled the scene. Fearing for his life, the statement says the officer discharged his firearm and the man was shot.
DHS says the officer has severe injuries. The suspect died at a hospital. Permanent repairs on the White River Bridge get underway tomorrow. Governor Ferguson's emergency order fast-tracked those repairs. Crews are required to work 7 days a week, but WashDOT's R.B. McKeon says they will not be working around the clock.
We want to keep them, safe. So doing things, sort of in the middle of the night over water like that is just not something that we typically do.
Semi-truck hit that bridge nearly 1 month ago. It has been shut down ever since. FAA is proposing a $3 million fine against Boeing for multiple safety violations, including issues tied to that mid-air door plug blowout last year. Investigators say they found hundreds of quality lapses at the Renton plant and also at its subcontractor, Spirit Aerosystems in Kansas. Boeing has 30 days to respond. At 3:32 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Aaron. Home Comfort Alliance up in Everett, North 5. It is a parking lot from the Boeing Freeway all the way to Highway 2, where an earlier collision was recently cleared. It's now on your right shoulder. Everett to Marysville is a 25-minute trip. Linwood, we cleared that collision northbound 99 at Manor Way, just north of the Mukilteo Speedway. Linwood to Seattle up to 50 minutes now, and we've got one backup, but it is a thick one from Northgate into downtown. North 5 is heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Southbound 405 packed from 520 to Northeast 44th. Bellevue to Renton is a half-hour drive. North 405 is thick through the Renton S-curves. Renton to Bellevue is at 25 minutes. In Renton, we've got a brush fire southbound 167 and 180th, and fire crews on scene have that right lane blocked. You're backed up bumper to 405. Right now, Renton to Auburn pushing a half hour, and Tacoma to Olympia an hour and 20 minutes. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Staying calm tonight with mix of clouds and some sunshine. Tomorrow slightly warmer, highs in the mid-70s. Then Sunday slightly cooler, highs in the upper 60s along with some showers. Right now 69 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Don't forget to know it all quiz. That means some lucky person gets a chance to break into the world of radio. Aaron got his job here by playing the Know It All quiz. You too. TD's going to give you a whole box of Bite Me cookies, not just one cookie, but a whole box of Bite Me cookies. One interesting thing about yourself, and if you have anything interesting, have something interesting happen between now and then. 1-888-973-5476. At 5:30. Don't forget Home Comfort Alliance. I can't think of any other company out there when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electric that it does with Home Comfort Alliance does. It's homecomfortalliance.com.
Vitapides.
I don't think that's it.
That's it. It's the official pronunciation.
Fine, Andy.
Say it again.
Phytopides.
No, it's the guy that ran the marathon. Well, you're giving away my day in history.
I don't even have it on the list.
I added it in there. 1962, JFK marries Jacqueline in Newport, Rhode Island.
Bouvier,
yes. 1972, Hopalong Cassidy rides off for the sunset. Well, it's 72. Okay. Violence erupts in Boston from busing in 1974. 1993, floating bridge opens in Seattle. The I-90 stretch, coast to coast. And then the light rail went across.
Yes, it did. Making history.
At 4 miles an hour. 1995, the Harlem Globetrotters, 8,829 win. The streak is broken. Oh.
How?
I didn't pick that one.
I thought they were like rigged. I thought it was an act.
No, they tried to, the Harlem Globetrotters tried to do an expansion team. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar competed against the Globetrotters in the game that they lost. Yeah.
There you go.
The stuff is, they do try. The way it works is they let the other team, normally like the New Jersey Generals or the Washington Generals, wherever they are, they let them run up the score in the first half. Then halftime, then they come back with a great strategy, like a bucket full of water or confetti and crazy shots and stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, that's but we're not doing that one.
Bonus quiz. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's name pre-converting to Islam?
Oh, wow.
Starts with an L. Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor. Did I say it right? Did I beat you to it?
I don't think so.
Lou Alcindor, you're right. Okay, wow, that's bad on my part. All right, so I'm going to choose the creation of the marathon, the whole idea of the marathon. And it was, it begins with a P. Come on, it's, what's his name?
Phytopides.
Okay, fine. So here's what happens. This goes back to 490 BC. The Persians invade Athens, okay? You have to understand there's the Spartans and the Athenians. They're kind of living in their own little life over there. The Spartans kind of wanted their own little kingdom. They didn't do much. They kind of were two people that were in charge. The kings basically ran everything. Athens was the beginning of democracy. They wanted education, and they wanted to be able to, have knowledge. So you have the Athens. You have Athens and Spartans. They're kind of hanging out in one section. Well, you have the Persians decide they want to continue to get more and more land. So in 490 BC, the Persians decided to invade Athens. Well, they knew they were coming. About 25,000 soldiers were coming in to invade there in the Bay of Marathon. So this guy, I swear, that's not his real name, but whatever. They say to him, hey, listen, he's an Athenian. Hey, run over there to the Spartans and go find out if they'll help us because we don't have enough people. So he runs 150 miles. He runs 2 days, days and nights, 150 miles, all the way up to Sparta. He's like, we need your help. Persians come, we need your help. And they're like, yeah, we're right in the middle of a holiday and we got like all sorts of rituals going on, so we can't help you right now. Yeah, maybe after the holidays we can come down and help you. Well, we do want to fight with you, but we're kind of busy. So then
Phytopides
runs. That's not his real name. He runs all the way back, 150 miles again, goes all the way back. He's like, they're having a big party. They can't help. So the leaders of the Athenians, they decide, I got a big, smart idea. We know the Spartans are going to put their strongest fighters in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack from the side, and we're going to take advantage of their weaker soldiers. And that's exactly what they did. So they send their soldiers right in. They fight the guys in the middle, take a lot of arrows to the heart. But then the other guys swoop in there. So they had 25,000, knock them down to 6,000, right? And they're like, holy moly, the Spartans say, we got to get the heck out of here. So they get back on their boats, and they're going to go back to Athens and attack Athens. So guess who they turn to?
Phytopides.
I said, Hey, I know you're tired from your last run of 150 miles up and back, 300 miles altogether. Would you mind running from Marathon at the Marathon Bay? Would you mind running to Athens and let the king know that the Spartans are coming and could possibly be invading again? So they're mad. They lost a lot of their troops, and they're going to try to take it out on us. So get ready. Here they come. So okay. Hope my nipples stop bleeding. And he runs all the way to Athens, 26.1 miles, and he gets there, and he says, victory, we've won. We beat them. We beat the Spartans. Oh. And he yells out, Nike, Nike, and then dies.
Wow.
There you go. That is not how you pronounce his name.
Phytopies.
No, he's not Phytopies. That's
what do you mean?
No, no.
Phytopides.
No, okay. You know what? Here's the problem. People listening are like, no, it's not his name.
Let me check. Let me see.
Any other questions? I mean, it really saved Athens. And how about the Spartans not wanting to help out? What?
Pheidippides? It's what somebody says.
Yeah, something like that.
Pheidippides?
Anyway, so his real run, and a marathoner decided he wanted to do the real run. So he ran from Athens. He ran from the Bay of Marathon up to where the Spartans were, then back, and then he ran all the way to Athens. The guy did the whole thing, like 326 miles or something. I don't know how many days it took him. 34 days, 35 days, something like that.
Wow. So a marathon is based on the Bay of Marathon.
Right, to Athens.
Yeah.
Right. And then normally what people will do is when they get across the finish line, they yell, Nike, and then they die.
And
I hear Pheidippides as well.
There we go.
What do you mean you hear Pheidippides?
He's looking it up.
It's a YouTube channel. Some guy said Pheidippides. Yeah.
That's right.
What about?
Phytopides.
That sounds like something Sherry doesn't want to eat.
The rest of the story.
Is that it? That took a lot out of me. If we just ran a marathon.
I know. Good.
Nike.
You're not going to damage your hormones, are you?
Pheidippides.
Oh, okay.
Pheidippides.
Oh, I like that guy.
Phytopides.
Phytopides.
It's just Google.
One more time, Andrew. So
Pheidippides.
There you go.
That seems to be the consensus on the text line, too.
Thank you. There we go. All right, Nathan, we're going to get your...
Phytopides.
Sounds like a fish.
Yeah, that's like some weird thing that develops like a...
Phytopides.
It's like a weird rash. Okay. Let's go to Nate over there checking traffic. Nathan.
Seattle Seahawks has our update. Tacoma to Olympia is an hour and 20-minute drive this afternoon. We've got a new backup to add to this, approaching South 74th due to a recent crash there that was just cleared to your right shoulder. And then big backups to JBLM and between Lacey and Olympia. In Renton, we've got a brush fire southbound 167 and 180th. Fire crews have that right lane blocked, and you're backed up bumper to 405. Renton to Puyallup is a 50-minute trip. It's 35 minutes from Renton just to Auburn. Everett to Marysville has improved a bit to 20 minutes, but it is still heavy between the Everett Mall and Highway 2 from an earlier collision, and now northbound 529 is packed between Everett and Marysville as drivers ditch I-5. Linwood to Seattle, a 50-minute commute this afternoon, and it is bumper to bumper from Northgate Way all the way down to I-90. 12's tickets for the Seahawks 50th season are on sale now. Let's pack Lumen Field, bring the noise, and make history together this season. Secure your seats today at Seahawks.com/tickets. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange, a permanent solution to distance, intermediate, and near vision problems. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless.
And because we've performed over 100,000 procedures and followed the outcomes, we have the experience to know if RLE is right for you.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. And let's get your vision feeling young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
It's G. Scott. School's back, and it's time to rally for the campaign to keep kids healthy. Donate at Safeway Checkout to help families afford fresh fruits and veggies. With SNAP Produce Match, every dollar goes twice as far. Learn more at your neighborhood Safeway.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Here we go. It's the John Curley Show. Thank you, one and all. You can follow us on Instagram, although it doesn't seem anybody does.
Come on now.
We're stuck at like 1,500 viewers or something.
That's not true. First of all, when's the last time you mentioned our Instagram account?
Never.
Yeah, that helps. Promotion.
It makes it more sacred.
The John Curley Show on Instagram.
Increases the value of it.
That's right.
Let's see. I think this is unfortunate. First of all, it's interesting. Go back to 2016. Charlie Kirk set up a website where he gave students they called the Professor's Watch List, established sort of the beginning of Turning Point USA. And what it did is it promoted principles of fiscal responsibility, free market, limited government, and it gave students an opportunity to sort of say, hey, my professor is teaching this sort of stuff, and we're not allowed to say this kind of stuff, and it's really shutting down free speech in classrooms. And then the professors would be put on lists, and then they were upset because, they're calling me out, I'm getting harassed and stuff. Okay, but it was just kind of opening it up to what's being taught in the classroom. Am I not able to speak my mind for fear there will be retribution either from the other students or the professors? That's 2016. So now what's happened? With the death of Charlie Kirk, you now have, which is sort of the hard right, going after people, much like the hard left during the whole woke thing, going after people and trying to cancel a bunch of people. So I looked it up today. The list grows by every second. The number of different Virginia state senator demanding Chesterfield, this person get fired, demanding that person get fired. City council members in Jacksonville, Florida, calling for the removal of city appointees. There's a whole bunch of teachers here in Seattle, the surrounding area, that are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And these people are like, fire him, fire that guy, fire that person, fire them for saying all this sort of stuff. No, absolutely not. Don't fire these people. Here's a TikToker posting a meme declaring Charlie Kirk's assassination, saying,
fired from my f***ing job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my f***ing job.
Did you get fired?
I was just fired from my f***ing job. Now I have
Wait. This is Nate a couple of years ago when they left.
Hey. I have nothing but this website. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore. I have nothing anymore.
Okay, we get it. Yeah. I wonder why you don't have anything. Posting gleeful laughter and cheering.
So y'all got me fired from my job, but at least I got streaming. But I know for a fact none of y'all would even pull up to my stream and say that to my face.
He should. What's he have in his mouth? Like a popsicle or something? Why does he sound like he's got something in his mouth?
I didn't notice anything in his mouth, to be honest.
I'm going to go live later, man. Streaming. Y'all can't take me on my streaming platform, though.
Yeah, don't listen. Let people talk. And if somebody wants to do a dance on Charlie Kirk's grave, go ahead. Because that's exactly what Charlie would probably not have a problem with you doing. You want to say something? Say it. Somebody doesn't want to hear it? Walk away. You don't want to read it? Don't read it. You don't want to see it? Don't click on it. But don't tell somebody, oh, if you say this, we're going to take away your job. What does that sound like? That's cancel culture from a couple of years ago, right? Somebody misspoke, boom, you lose a job. Somebody uses a word or says something that somebody, then the left would rise up and demand that somebody get fired. Dory Monson, right? What the left put Dory through because Dory wrote something? And then people didn't have the courage to stand up for a guy that was getting paid to give his opinion? I mean, come on. Let people say whatever they want to say. Let them say it. And these people, those are on the right, and I know that I got a bunch of friends who are like, get that guy fired. Get him to lose his job. No! Let him talk. Listen, and then the person that's hired this individual that's cheering and yelling because Charlie Kirk has been shot, the person that has hired that person can then now better assess the character of the individual. Are they okay with that guy saying that stuff? Are we okay with teachers saying that? Listen, it's entirely up to who's ever hired that person. But for the public to come forward and say, demand that person gets fired. No, you're no better if you do that than the cranks on the left that were screaming and yelling about somebody not using the right word or, making some sort of symbol that might be some sort of racist symbol or something.
Are there certain career modes maybe you think that they might get, like, say, school teachers? Should, if they come out and say that was great that Charlie got killed, should they lose their job?
Who should determine that?
Probably the school.
Yeah.
School district.
Yeah.
If they do it on their private Instagram, though, or their private Facebook page.
Well, I don't know. Social media, it's out there for
Let them
everybody.
out there. Let them have it. Let them, whatever
You're
it is. Yeah, no. I lost everything. Okay. But good question, though, Nate. Thank you. Here we go. Checking traffic.
Subaru Puyallup, Tacoma to Olympia, an hour 15. We cleared out through South Tacoma, and you're left with a 4-mile thick backup through JBLM. Scattered backups between Nisqually and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma, 45 minutes. We still have a brush fire southbound 167 and 180th in Renton, blocking your right lane. You're backed up to 405. Renton to Auburn at 35 minutes. And Linwood to Seattle is at 50 minutes with a solid backup from Northgate to the Convention Center. Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise. Subaru of Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service.
Really?
Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots, on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit Pfizerforall.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free good-to-go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought?
Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle.
What are you doing?
Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Charlie Kirk's suspected killer in custody.
We got him.
President Trump's crime crackdown.
We're going to Memphis.
ICE agent shoots man in suburban Chicago.
The suspect was pronounced dead at that hospital.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
And I'm Carter Evans in Orem, Utah. We got him. Utah's Republican Governor Spencer Cox announced at a news conference today. Cox said 22-year-old Tyler Robinson of southern Utah was in custody after being turned in by a family friend.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Robinson is suspected of firing the shot that killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk while he was speaking at an event at Utah Valley University. Family members told investigators Robinson believed Kirk was spreading hate.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
Robinson was arrested on suspicion of aggravated murder and numerous other felonies. Now to Jennifer Kuiper with more.
2 federal law enforcement sources tell CBS News Robinson's father recognized his son in FBI photos, and Robinson admitted to being the person in those photos. CBS's Scott McFarlane on What's Next.
This would be both a federal and a local investigation, but I'd expect the U.S. Attorney for the District of Utah, who took over in February 2025 on an acting basis, to be lead on this prosecution. And that means there'll be a detention hearing, a preliminary hearing, and that could happen early next week.
President Trump says on Fox News he's sending National Guard troops to Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis that's the next city. Deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee. The governor is happy.
But Democratic Memphis Mayor Paul Young insists.
I want to be clear. I did not ask for the National Guard, and I don't think it's the way to drive down crime. However, that decision has been made.
The president wants to send the National Guard to Chicago, but for now has just ramped up immigration operations. And a man is dead after being shot by an ICE agent. CBS News Chicago's Suzanne Lehman-Yo in Franklin Park.
Department of Homeland Security says ICE officers were conducting a targeted law enforcement activity. During a vehicle stop, they say the suspect resisted and attempted to drive his vehicle into the arresting team, hitting an officer, then dragging him as he fled the scene. Fearing for his life, the statement says the officer discharged his firearm and the man was shot.
ICE says the agent suffered severe injuries. Now this.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Turning down the noise outside at T-Mobile Park. That is one story coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Let's see, Tacoma to Olympia taking you an hour and 15 minutes. You got a 4-mile thick backup through JBLM and then scattered backups between Nisqually and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma is a 45-minute drive. You're slow through Nisqually and you're going to clear out near Mounts Road and then slow again through South Tacoma. Renton, we're all clear southbound 167 at 180th from an earlier brush fire. Renton to Puyallup will take you 50 minutes. It's a half hour Renton to Auburn and you're backed up to 405. Seattle to Federal Way is a 35-minute drive. 405 northbound, heavy from South Center up to the Renton Landing. South Center to Bellevue is 25 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 50. It is solid from Northgate to the Convention Center. And Everett to Marysville, plan on a half hour. Scattered backups from the Everett Mall all the way up to 529. Thinking of a Kia EV? You better act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. House Minority Leader visited Bellevue today to push back against potential cuts to health care. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports Democrats say they are willing to risk a government shutdown if their demands are not met.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries joined Representative Susan Del Bene, Governor Bob Ferguson, and other elected officials at Overlake Medical Center to sound the alarm about cuts to health care.
We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people. Period. Full stop.
The cuts go into effect January 1st. In Bellevue, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Republicans say those cuts to programs like Medicaid would come from rooting out fraud and waste. Police today broke up a brawl in Tacoma. Happened early this morning, but not before several people were slashed. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has more.
Multiple people have been stabbed after a fight outside a bar. Tacoma police say this happened on South Tacoma Way around 2 a.m. Officers say a large fight happened outside this bar. 3 victims rushed to the hospital. All are expected to be okay.
Police now say they have 2 suspects in custody, a 27-year-old man and a 32-year-old woman. Seattle Mariners want to know what fans think about those guys with megaphones who've been preaching outside T-Mobile Park. Blogger Bennett Hazelton recently confronted one of those preachers with a decibel meter.
You're allowed to use a megaphone. You can't go over 70 decibels. This is not legal.
Mariners have now posted signs outside T-Mobile Park asking fans to scan a QR code. They can then share feedback about those signs, calling it amplified noise. Seahawks defense may be down one of their best defensive players this Sunday. Pro Bowl cornerback Devin Witherspoon is listed as doubtful to play against the Steelers. On the offensive side, QB Sam Darnold expects a bounce-back game in Pittsburgh.
I feel like all the guys are, in a really good place. We feel like we have a good football team, and we're ready to go.
Kickoff at 10 o'clock here on Sunday. Listen right here on KIRO News Radio. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Dry tonight, warmer tomorrow, highs in the mid-70s on Saturday, upper 60s on Sunday, along with some rain at times. Right now, 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Learn some economics.
Yeah, I learned that in jail.
Wow. A lot coming at you on that one. Just start with the John Curley Show. Oh, we get 5:30, the Know It All quiz. One interesting thing about yourself, and you'll find yourself on the radio just like Aaron did many years ago when he got his start here at KIRO. All the big names got started here. 1-888-973-5476 to text. Be part of the show, and 5:30 played the Know It All quiz. Know It All quiz. Teeny's got all the cookies in a box for you. Diving in the Know. I am a revered teacher, a private tutor, known as the James Bond of private tutors. Yeah, you ought to be ashamed, Dan. You ought to be ashamed. That is the beginning. That's how I'm considered one of the best in the world. Connecting adolescents, igniting academic passions, and inspiring students to achieve higher test scores. He is the James Bond of private tutors. Well, look at you, Mr. Bond. Here we meet again. Yeah. All right. By the way, Dan Lerman, I have to say something. I read your article at 1 o'clock in the morning at Free Press. Big fan of Barry Weiss. God bless her and her new to be $100 million, whatever she's going to get. I loved this article because I love the way it started out and where it took me with I don't know how many words it took for you to put all this together, but you explored so many aspects of curiosity, the human desire to know things, and then what are the things that are in our way to stop us from really achieving higher education, through structured high school and college and things like that. And that's why I wanted to have you on, and I'm so grateful that you're here. The name of the article was The War on Knowledge. Who's waging this war, Dan?
John, first of all, I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for reaching out. This is what life's all about, these conversations. So thank you.
You're
it
welcome.
Seems like you've got a fun team. I love you guys.
Good.
Who's waging the war? That's a great question. I wonder if it's people who are afraid of inequity and measurement, because if education was truly about knowledge and quantifiable in certain ways, then it by definition creates inequity. And I wonder if people who are consciously or unconsciously afraid of that have a no knowledge agenda.
But there's no, life itself is not fair, and there's no equity in life, right? I mean, even twins have different IQ. The firstborn normally is smarter, right? So there's no way you can create equity.
I agree entirely. Down to our biology, there's a limp scarcity of resources. It's just the way of the universe. So I agree with what you just said, with no further modification.
Okay, so what it seems to me is there's the view of constricted and unconstricted. The view constricted, if you read Thomas Sowell, he talks about that certain people view us as fallen, broken species. Our nature needs to be controlled with institutions. And then you have unconstricted, which is sort of a Marxist view that man himself is perfectly fine and could do really well on his own. It would love one another as they love their own parents and everybody else. But it's the systems and the institutions that are the problem. So it seems like in modern education today, Dan, you have this unconstricted view that yes, there's inequities, and what we'll do is we'll just sort of smooth out the edges. We won't really grade anybody because we don't really want to hurt anybody's feelings, and then therefore everyone will be equally uneducated.
Yeah, there's a great short story by Kurt Vonnegut, one of my favorites of all time, called Harrison Bergeron. And the first line of that story, the year was 2048, and everybody was finally equal. And in the 4 or 5 page story, he kind of zooms out to reveal this world where the best and the brightest of humanity had to go around wearing heavy bags of sand and wearing clown noses. And I wonder if a version of that is happening to us now, with a very strong anti-test movement, the grade inflation. Did you know that in many places GPAs are now out of 5.0 and not 4.0? It's all kind of feeding the same trend that I think you're describing.
Did you know Michael Jordan was cut his first year of high school basketball? So if Michael Jordan had made the team because they didn't want to hurt his feelings, Michael Jordan would not have improved. But right after he got cut, he went home, cried for a couple of days or something, and then decided, no, while they're playing in games, while they are practicing, I'm going to practice. And Michael Jordan, at that point, decided, I'm going to be better than anybody else on that team. But if he had made the team, Dan, Michael Jordan would not be who Michael Jordan is, right?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And did you know I'm a huge basketball fan?
I know that because you're also like, 6'6" or something. I see you standing next to your wife. You make her look like a midget. Hey, so what do we do if the war on education is because people feel sorry for other people and we're grade inflating and we don't want anybody to know that they might not get these things? How does somebody win this battle back?
One thing, I don't have a definitive answer. I have a 3-year-old
Okay, goodbye,
daughter.
Dan. See you later. Goodbye. If you don't have a definitive answer. Nice to see you. Bye. There goes James Bond. No, go ahead.
I should just not. It's a waste of like 6 words. I know our time is limited, so I'm sorry. I retract.
Go ahead.
But, I have a 3-year-old daughter, second baby on the way. We're very excited and thinking about this. And I run this group of the top online tutors in the world. It's called the League of Exceptional Tutors. And one of the trends I'm seeing is a lot of people who are kind of free thinkers and noticing this trend. A lot of people are choosing to homeschool. And I don't know that that's the answer for us. I don't know if that's the answer for anyone, but I'm just noticing a lot more. When I was growing up, I'm 39 years old. When I was growing up, it was kind of a fringe thing. And now they're homeschooling conferences. They're big companies that kind of provide, there's that school everyone's talking about, Alpha School out of Austin, where the kids spend 2 hours a day with AI learning and then spend the rest of the time on there. So I think rethinking what our time in schools really is spent doing is clearly a step in the right direction.
So if we, like Socrates didn't like the fact that things were written down on a piece of paper. He actually didn't like he didn't want words written down. He thought people would spend time reading as opposed to talking. We've come a long way, and now we've gone all the way around, and maybe people don't even read anymore. So we divide the marketplace into those that decide, well, there's nothing available for me in the market, so I'm going to homeschool, right? But then there's others that seems college as, well, I go in, I'll just take all these classes. I won't have to worry about a C or a D because they don't give those anymore. I'll hire Dan. He'll help my kid get into some college, and then I'll just use that, pedigree to get some job at some corporation somewhere. So you, Dan Lerman, are part of the problem.
Yeah, it's the evil James Bond. We need to rethink.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I sure understand that perspective. I sure understand it. I don't know that I have a good retort other than, in the free market, if I'm not doing it at a high level, someone else is. And perhaps the whole game is rotten. I hear your point.
Yeah. So then, and you see it, and, you got one kid, you got another baby coming, you got to feed these kids, and you have this skill set. And you're like, look, if you want to hire me to teach your kid to score well on these SATs, I can show them. Can you, without us paying you anything, what's the one tip that you give people to be like, okay, this is how, by the way, you should know, first time I took the SATs, so I'm 63, I scored combined 630, and then I cheated in my SATs later and scored 1220. So
nice.
Thank you. And then the Aptitude Testing Center in Princeton, New Jersey, sent me a nice little letter explaining in less than 2 paragraphs, as a matter of fact, that they would be sending this letter to every college that I applied to. So I didn't have much of a career, but
wow.
Yeah. So what's the tip that you give people when these people come in? Is it really that hard to beat these tests, Dan?
Yeah, they almost all standardized tests test 3 things. They test reading, grammar, and math. And the central one, the number one kind of barrier to crushing these tests is people are not elite readers. People are not elite readers. So basically, my entire tutoring career hinges on the idea that I can teach people to read at elite levels. And if you take a look at an SAT, they're available free on the internet. You can just Google, Google SAT, and you're given little paragraphs of really high-level text. There's Shakespeare, there's poetry from the 1600s, there's scientific studies, and especially in today's society where attention spans are going down, people, I'm reading less than I used to because my attention is pulled in a lot of different directions. I think people are just not high-level readers. So the one tip, if you've got kids and you want them to go down this path and do really well at these tests, get them reading not just kind of fun Harry Potter stuff, stuff that's going to expand your mind with complex ideas, complex vocabulary, and that is kind of the grease that makes the wheels move.
I sent you an article that I discovered this morning, and I took, some great glee in the fact that you wrote back to Joe saying, "Oh, a friend of mine, I think at Harvard or whatever, sent me the exact same article." And it was basically trying to say that, yes, we're smarter if you look at the IQ tests in America. We're not getting dumber, but we're not reading as much as we were before. And perhaps the Flynn effect, which tested IQ, might actually be in reverse, and we might be getting dumber in a way.
Yeah, I consider myself in this life, John, a glass half full person.
Okay.
And I think a lot about how in many ways, this is the best time ever to be alive. Steven Pinker wrote this book called Enlightenment Now, which by every measurable statistic, this is the best time ever to be alive. And one of the things I've thought about is this Flynn effect. And again, against our, perceptions, it seems as if people are getting smarter by each generation. We're getting smarter and smarter. And that idea is called the Flynn effect. And it's been well established. The psychologist named James Flynn spent his entire career researching it. When I wrote the article in the Free Press, I mentioned that's like a seminal thought. It's like one way I alleviate a lot of the anxieties I have about this world. People are getting smarter. It doesn't seem like it. People are getting smarter. You very wisely wrote back, and another colleague of mine also wrote back, that this effect is actually in reverse. And I had heard ramblings of it, and I've read about it recently, and it's kind of disappointing because, the data's out, and by the same metric that we were getting smarter, we are now getting less smart. And what are the metrics of that? Well, the standard IQ test is called the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. It measures reading ability. It measures your ability to do math. It measures facts like who is the Chancellor of Germany? All of these questions are on IQ tests. And as a whole, we're getting worse at them. I don't know. Some people might say it doesn't matter. I think it's a reflection of the fact that we're spending our free time doing nonsense, myself included, just like on social media, rather than reading books, expanding our minds, having mind-expanding conversations.
And also the test of intelligence is the ability to adapt and to think of ways that you prior to the conflict or the problem that you have is a way to find a solution to that problem. So it's abstract thinking as well that needs to go into a basic intelligence, understanding intelligence. It's not just knowing, what two countries have an X in their name.
You like that?
I do like that. Or who is the Chancellor of Germany. It's not just memorizing facts, but the ability to have the facts as a basis of knowledge and then use the basis of knowledge to say, well, here's another problem. This is something similar. Why don't I just go on ChatGPT to get the answer? And by going to that, you don't begin to form new, neural pathways that stimulate the brain to grow the brain.
Nailed it, John. Yeah. Oh, man. I have goosebumps. You nailed it. That's exactly right. And I think in any domain, intelligence is grounded in facts. Even for us to be able to have this conversation, John, we need to know the English language and know how to conjugate verbs. And those are objective facts. So this idea that facts are not important is kind of deeply offensive to me.
Yeah. But you've noticed in school, the kids don't know how to read. They don't know how to do math. Facts are not as important because they get in the way of, let's celebrate somebody's creativity. So, Again, the question goes back to you, Dan, the James Bond of SAT and tutors, that how does somebody realize this is a problem, and then how does one address that problem and get us back to a basic respect for the rules of spelling? I before E except after C.
Nice one. Yeah. I forgot about that one. That's a really good one.
Thank you. By the way, Dan, I have stumped you on every question I've asked, so I don't know what the hell you're doing over there.
I'm a thoughtful person. I look up. And I know. These are really good questions, John. And the reason I'm taking a moment to answer is I don't want to come off as preaching that I've got the answer. I don't. So yes. I really feel the need to qualify and try and give an answer that might be useful. I think one answer that might be useful is to get an objective measure of your actual reading level. And to get into, are you actually able to read and digest ideas? And if not, there are ways you can improve that rather than just ignore it and say reading isn't important anymore. I believe reading is a fundamental it's just an important part of how our brains evolved and how we communicate in our society. And I think people are getting worse at that.
Well, hopefully those that are trying to find some other source of education, whether it is a homeschool or a private school, whatever it is, that our human being, unquenchable thirst for knowledge will never be vanquished. And by the way, the answer is Merz. He's the German chancellor. It's Merz, by the way.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that.
That's right.
I thought it was Angela Merkel, but she's okay.
Long,
got it.
she's long gone. And by the way, Andrew or Nate. So Dan's, who is the James Bond of tutors, his question to you is: what two countries have an X in their name?
What was that?
Come on, Nate.
Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Not a real place.
Not a real place. Oh, Andrew's looking it up.
I just don't know.
Dan, what's the answer?
Dan.
We've got Mexico and Luxembourg.
There you are. There he goes.
Woo, woo.
Wow. All right, go take care of the kid. God bless. The second one on the way. Thanks, Dan.
John, you are the man. Thank you.
Bye-bye. There he goes.
Xanadu's not real?
Shoot. It is a real place.
Oh, good.
We're going to go there later on. All right, here's Nate first. Checking traffic to Xanadu.
Yeah, Seattle Sports has the update. Everett to Marysville, plan on a half hour. It's really heavy from the Everett Mall all the way to 529 as we recover from an earlier crash near Highway 2. It had all lanes blocked there for a bit. Getting to Everett from Bellevue and Seattle are quite normal 50-minute commutes. 405 scattered backups through Kirkland and Totem Lake, and I-5. You're clear until you hit 145th there in Shoreline. Linwood to Seattle has improved to 40 minutes. Got a little crowding now in Linwood, but then still just barely moving from Northgate to the Convention Center. Linwood to Bellevue, 25 minutes. You do have scattered backups between Alderwood and Bothell to get through. And then once you hit Bellevue, we've got that usual afternoon backup from 520 down to the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, it's 20 minutes on 520. We're up to a half hour now on I-90. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
The Seahawks hit the road for the first time this season in hostile Pittsburgh. Seahawks, Steelers, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our go the extra mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again. Permanently.
Go to k2visionrle.com. k2visionrle.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A 22-year-old suspect is being held without bail in Utah in the killing of Charlie Kirk. Authorities accusing Tyler Robinson of acting alone. Here's CBS's Anna Schechter with more.
His father called a youth pastor who had a relationship with the U.S. Marshals. They were able to contain him, hold him in one place. They called the FBI, and overnight authorities took him into custody.
And authorities say he talked to family members about his opposition to Kirk's conservative views. FBI Director Kash Patel.
The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory.
I'm Stacey Lynn. In Pennsylvania, a vigil was held by the Pitt College Republicans.
This is a turning point in our nation. We need to come to God. We need to pray for the soul of our nation.
At the University of Kentucky,
regardless of what your views are, whoever, I feel like this is just a time of mourning.
Kirk was scheduled to be a guest speaker this week at a conference at Charis Bible College in Colorado. They still held the event without him.
The suspect in Kirk's killing is set to be formally charged on Tuesday. The Federal Aviation Administration has proposed more than $3 million in fines against Boeing. More from KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
This is related to the incident in January 2024, where a door plug blew off on Alaska Airlines 737 MAX mid-flight. The FAA says investigators identified hundreds of quality system violations at Boeing's factory here in Renton and with a major subcontractor. Investigators also say Boeing employees pressured other workers involved in safety and oversight programs to sign off on a 737 MAX so the company could meet its delivery schedule, even though it was determined the plane didn't meet standards.
Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Some good news about the White River Bridge. WashDOT's R.B. McKeon says crews finished temporary bracing ahead of schedule.
Our crews are great at what they do, if I'm being honest.
So now permanent repairs will start tomorrow. The bridge was damaged about a month ago. Crews aim to reopen it by mid-November. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Subaru of Puyallup has our update. Everett to Marysville, plan on a half hour. It's heavy from the Everett Mall to 529 as we recover from an earlier crash up there near Highway 2. Now getting to Everett from Bellevue to Seattle are both pushing about 55 minutes now. 405 looking pretty good. Your scattered backups through Kirkland and Totem Lake. And then North 5, you're clear till you hit about Northgate. And then from there, it's scattered backups through Shoreline. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. A little crowded in Linwood. And then it's just barely moving from Northgate into downtown. North 5 jams up at Albro Place in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is a half hour. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, still 20 minutes on 520. We're up to 35 minutes on I-90. And Tacoma to Olympia, you're down to an hour and 5-minute commute. Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Still some clouds out there, but we are starting to see plenty of sun breaks. For tomorrow, a nice day, highs in the mid-70s. Some showers returning on Sunday, highs in the upper 60s. Right now, 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Back to school means 10,000 buses, over 1 million students, and 60,000 teachers all hitting our roads. Even if you don't have kids, your morning routine just got a wake-up call. With KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes, you'll be totally prepared and know what to expect before it hits. From breaking news to changing skies and slowdowns you wouldn't see coming, KIRO 7 News in the Morning has your back. To school. Watch KIRO 7 weekdays 4:30 to 7 a.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
I gave it away, though, didn't I, Aaron?
Yeah, you did. That was good, though. I like it.
Still, it's that good. It is that good. Buggy's Auto Service Centers. I don't know whether you know this or not, but they've got 16 locations. They've been around for 55 years. Take the car to Buggy's. Buggy's Auto Service Centers. Enemy lines. That's right.
We drop in under the cover of night. We come to fight. We spy. We creep. We crawl over your wall. We are behind enemy lines.
Time to go behind enemy lines. Of course, the Seahawks go into Pittsburgh. An opportunity to take the Steelers down. We got Rye Curley. Rye, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good. Rye, are you ready to match wits with Mike Pursuta? The guy who's been in this business since 1985, has said all sorts of crazy, outrageous things, but is always right when it comes to the Steelers. Rye Curley, are you ready?
Oh, I'd love to face off with a real yinzer.
Mike, welcome to the show. As we go behind enemy lines, we know that you have you're taping this for us. We appreciate your participation in this because we know you want to go to see Eric Church tonight because this is going to be a record year for the Seahawks. We're all going to be celebrating with a drink in our hand. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, that was a cold one. First and foremost, thanks for having me. Let me declare before we get into any deep analysis, I'm declaring this game the John Mahoney Bowl. Because as we all know, John Mahoney not only played Fraser Crane's dad in Frasier, he played Bruce Willis, police officer dad, in the classic movie Striking Distance, which is filmed right here in Pittsburgh.
Jeez, wow, we're going deep into it. Okay, so the Steelers beat the Jets. Let's begin with the conversation regarding Aaron Rodgers and Terry Bradshaw, the great Terry Bradshaw, who was basically pooping all over Aaron Rodgers prior to the Jets game. Has he changed his tune?
If he didn't, he's not paying attention. I haven't heard any of his analysis, and there's air quotes around that. God bless Terry Bradshaw for Super Bowls and all. He just gets on TV and says stuff. He doesn't really think for space, Aaron Rodgers has been a revelation for the Steelers, and Bradshaw wasn't the only one. The fan base was losing its collective mind because everybody thought Rodgers was holding the Steelers hostage, and they really, they didn't know it was 100%, but they felt really good that Rodgers would eventually sign with him, and he did. And he's been a leader. He's been a teammate. He's even been okay with the media. He's been the kind of guy that you want at the most important position. Their problem is, at least for week one, they couldn't protect him, and they had no running game.
How could you not protect him? The guy goes 22 for 30 and 4 touchdowns.
Because the ball never went 20 yards in the air, and it was a lot of play-action boot and a lot of sideways and a lot of quick, take a quick drop and read the defense as only a guy who's played for 20 years can do and get rid of it. They had severe protection problems. Left tackle Broderick Jones, number 77, he gave up 3 sacks. And the guy on the right side, you guys may remember Troy Fontanu from UW, I guess you guys say out there. He didn't give up sacks, but he gave up pressures, which drove Rodgers into the guy that Broderick Jones was not blocking. So that's a real concern for the Steelers this week. Their run game is a real concern this week.
Right. What do you see as the strength of the Steelers that has you concerned as a true Seahawks fan?
Well, I think Mike identified it. It is Aaron Rodgers, certainly. They couldn't protect him last week. And Arthur Smith, who I think is a good play caller, that's another one of their strengths, who I think has done a good job with Atlanta and Tennessee in the past. He identified you can't protect this guy. We got to get the ball out quick. And only Aaron Rodgers and a couple other quarterbacks in this league are able to play football like that. Is it sustainable in the long run? No. They have to find a way to protect Aaron Rodgers so he can sit in the pocket and they don't have to just run, play passes all day. The other, and I think the glaring strength with the Steelers is, and maybe Steelers fans don't believe this anymore because they're sick of it, but I think the identity and the culture of the Steelers is always going to be a strength. That Mike Tomlin, grind them out, rah-rah kind of games where they're happy to get down into the mud and play some, sloppy game and play hard defense and, win their 9 or 10 games and get into the playoffs and lose in the wild card. But I think that is a strength. It's still daunting as a fan of a team that rarely plays the Steelers. It's like, we got to play the Steelers. I don't care where they're at. I don't care who their quarterback is. It's like, God, you know what kind of game you're going to get into because this team is so consistently coached. So I do identify that as a strength, and I think maybe it's no longer a strength because there's been so much turnover since the last time the Steelers were actually like a really viable team. And then the other thing, like I said, I like Arthur Smith, and there are some good leaders on this team, but they are aging quickly. Their rushing defense was awful last week. Right now, it's all Aaron Rodgers, and is it a sustainable way to play football? Like, absolutely not. But if anybody can pull it off, it's Tomlin, and they can get their above 500 record.
Mike, you've been there for so long, since '85. Is there still that culture that Rye perceives all the way out here on the West Coast?
Yeah, I think it's a good call, and I think it's even a little bit enhanced this year because they got a lot of veteran guys. They really turned the roster over. And they have guys who have won. Rodgers and Jalen Ramsey are the headliners. They just haven't won here. But one of the things that got them through last Sunday, Rodgers was their best player, but they were on the ropes the entirety of that game, and they were able to cobble together at the end. They got a defensive stop finally, got the ball back, drove 39 yards to kick a 60-yard field goal, and then got a 4-and-out to seal the game. And they stayed with it. Nobody panicked. The sideline wasn't going berserk. They have been there, done that, guys. I think that is a real strength of this team. But, the sustainability thing, if Rodgers gets sacked 4 times every game, he's not going to play very many more games.
I think the best thing that Rodgers has done is refusing to go on McCaffrey's show. I think that's the smartest move he's doing by not going on that moron show. So, Ryan, do you agree? Disagree?
Absolutely agree. It's McAfee.
McAfee. I can't even say his name because I hate him so much.
Right there with you.
He's from Pittsburgh, right?
So what? So are you, and you're a decent dude. That guy's a moron.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. His 15 minutes are up, man. Please, something else.
Find a shirt with sleeves on it. All right, quick. Mike, here's where we get an opportunity for you to be able to decide which player from the Seahawks you'd like to remove from the game. So the bus pulls up to, I'm going to still call it Heinz Stadium, it pulls up, and you have a frying pan in one of your hands, and you're able to hit one Seahawk over the head, knock them slightly unconscious, and then you put them on the back of a horse for some reason because you're going to an Eric Church concert. I figure you know how to ride a horse. You then take them off. You strip off their uniform, and you put them in a Steelers uniform. Who do you kidnap slightly unconscious from the Seahawks in order to win on Sunday?
Well, my sentimental choice would be Kenneth Walker because I'm not only a Michigan State grad, but I was in Spartan Stadium in 2021 when he scored not 4 but 5 touchdowns against the University of Michigan, the Al Bundy +1. But I think the guy I might want to pull is number 13, the middle linebacker. Man, what a player. He can get a deep drop and make a high-point athletic interception. He can stuff a big back in the hole. From what I'm understanding, that Seahawks defense really came together when he was acquired last year, no?
Right.
Absolutely.
Who's number 13? Who is it? The guy that
Jones.
Jones gets the frying pan on the head. Okay, final score. So for both of you, final score for the Seahawks. Don't forget, there's $100 is going to come from me to you, Rye. If you get it, but that's nothing new. I'm your dad. I give you money all the time. To you, Mike, you can go down to Panani Brothers and get yourself a big gross sandwich with French fries and coleslaw on it. Final score from you, Mike.
You know, I thought the Steelers-Jets game was going to look like the Seahawks-Niners game. I'm going to stay in that church pew, if you will. Steelers 15, Seahawks 13.
Right roller.
And you guys can go. You guys can go talk
what?
fish.
15 points. I'll do Steelers 20, Seahawks 17. I say we lose.
All right. Well, you're both going to be winners for coming on the show. Mike, have fun at Eric Church. Thanks for being on. Certainly appreciate it. The morning show, DVE. What is DVE morning show? What is that supposed to mean?
It's just letters. You know, it's radio. You put 3-4 letters together and you start talking.
Have fun. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guy. All right, and thanks to Rye Roller as well. By the way, Rye gave the most common score in the NFL, 2017. That is the most common occurring score.
And then his, if it happens, is like a scoregami, they call it.
Is that right? Oh, okay. You know who else has got a big scoregami going on?
Who?
I don't know. But here's Nate with traffic.
Kia of Everett has the update. Everett to Marysville, 35 minutes. You're packed from the Everett Mall all the way to 529. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. Seattle to Everett, though, has improved to 40 minutes. You've got scattered backups now between Northgate and Linwood. Linwood to Seattle's been ebbing and flowing all afternoon, and now we're back up to a 50-minute commute. You're crowded in Linwood and jam-packed from Northgate all the way to the Convention Center. North 5 jams up at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Tacoma to Olympia, right around an hour. Olympia to Tacoma is at 40 minutes. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
For a very organized house and a very peaceful marriage, I've learned the easy way. Got in touch with Closets by Design because I'm a mess. I know I'm a slob. Stuff's all over the closet. And finally, Nick's like, we've got to get this thing organized. We've got to get better closets. You have to have a place to put everything so it doesn't end up on the floor. I said, okay, find a closet company. Don't get the first one that pops up on Google. Look for a local company. Let's keep the money local. So she found Closets by Design. The nice lady came out. She's a consultant. She sat with us from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock and completely designed with great creativity and insight exactly how to organize the house. Closets by Design. The best. Family run, 22 years in the business. And I don't know how you missed this great big savings because it's waiting there for you if you want to get organized. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. I'm talking about Closets by Design. You give them a call, you set up a free consultation today, and you'll get that organization for you and your house. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hi, Seahawks fans. Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Lung cancer is one of the deadliest cancers in the U.S., but early detection can make all the difference. If you're over 55 and have a history of smoking or a family history of lung cancer, you may qualify for a life-saving screening. So join us at Seahawks Crucial Catch Game on October 20th. Virginia Mason Franciscan Health will be offering lung cancer screenings before the game. Spots are limited, so check out vmfh.org/Seahawks to see if you qualify today.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers.